Hello everyone. From one friend of mine, I just got one problem to solve, and the problem was finding the inverse of a matrix. The inverse of the matrix can easily be found if we have got the values inside the matrix, but when there are some variables, it might not be that easy. So I just tried solving that problem. So for that case, I again used ChatGPT to find out the solution for it using Python code. So let's dive into the solution. So what I did was I used ChatGPT and I prompted like this. So I set it the matrix. I have got this matrix. Now what I wanted to do is I can directly send the ChatGPT to find the inverse as well, but usually in mathematical calculations, ChatGPT itself cannot give the perfect result, and finding the inverse of the matrix is quite a complex problem. That's why it might not get the right result. So first we need to set up ChatGPT in such a way that it must be able to write the Python code to find out the inverse of the matrix. So in that case, what I did was I set it to write the Python code using SymPy library. So SymPy library is used whenever there are some symbols, because the variables b and c did not have any values. Therefore, I am using SymPy library. So to define a symbolic matrix, so involving variables, I suggest it for this prompt, and then find its inverse. And I don't want in this value form. I want it in image form, so that it will be in the LaTeX form, so that it can be visualized with proper fractions and like in a mathematical form. So that's why I will also prompt it to export the result into a high resolution, let's say PNG image, and we need to use LaTeX for that rendering, and we need to ensure that the LaTeX preview is it uses high DPI, so that it will be a highly qualitative. So let's give it a 600 DPI, and I'll also set it to save the image in, and save the image in inverse with the name inverse matrix dot png. So this is what this is the prompt that will solve our problem. It will find out the inverse in variable form, and then it will render the image using LaTeX that represents the mathematical way of representing the numbers and variables in proper format, and then it will save the image. So let's press enter. So this is how it gives the result. And besides this code itself, we need to install the LaTeX library, so which is given by this line of code, and then we also need to install the SymPy library. So there were some errors while copying and pasting this code. So I have already made this code workable, so I'll just copy paste the code over here. So let's just copy and paste the code over here. So this is what the code looks like. So first we get these two libraries. These are to import the LaTeX, that is the language to write the mathematical symbols, and then it imports the SymPy library, which is already in the Google Colab. So we not need to install the SymPy library, and we need to define the symbols as variables. These are the variables that are inserted in this matrix. If there were many variables, we also need to insert A, B, or C, or etc., whatever we needed. Then this line finds the inverse. Then this will render this inverse into the image file with a high quality dots per inch resolution, and then it will be saved as image matrix.png. So let's run this program. So now it will download the packages of LaTeX, and then it will find out the inverse and save this as inverse matrix.png, which will be available here. So let's right click and refresh. So this is the inverse matrix. Let's download it. So this is the downloaded file, and while opening it, so this is the inverse matrix in the image format. So this is in proper LaTeX format, so you can see the squares and the fractions are written in quite a good mathematical expression. So this is how you can do, and you can also play around with these libraries like SymPy and LaTeX to do and perform other mathematical operations as well. So stay tuned and thanks for watching.